words are important to me. They mean a lot. And I have a couple of things like that where I'm just like, that's not what it means. That's people use this term and they've used it forever. And I understand how they use it, but that's not what the term means. And even though that's okay, my thing that's popping into my head, and I could get flack for this, but whatever. Fuck it. I really hate the term best friend, partially because the two people I called my best friend, one of them proceeded to go batshit crazy cyber stalk and cyber harass me, and then the other one dumped me when I asked one too many questions. So they don't exist. They've never existed for me, and now I have MB and one other person who potentially could be, but I'm too scared to put pressure on that friendship because when I call people that, things blow up. And
it hurts you deeply.
Yeah, and exactly. So it's a little trigger for me, but I've always felt that way. Even as a child, I was like, best indicates that there can only be one. And that is not how anybody uses it. It is always, one of my best friends. I was like, okay, that's a little bit better. But like, that's not. Yeah. And nobody's ever called me their best friend. So that's another, different. And I'm a good friend. So.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I know. See, the counselor in me is like, that's really an interesting thing that, the word best friend has a lot of meanings for you. And like the definition of that, what it really means has been just a big fat fuzzy mess because it's not been like
I love that. Thing. That's awesome. Big fat fuzzy mess.
Yeah, I get it though. Like I still think of this one girl I grew up with, as my best friend. But when I think about it at the same time, I go, we see each other maybe once a year, maybe twice. We don't talk hardly ever. So she really isn't my best friend anymore, but she's more like a family member. I mean, it just changes. So yeah, what you define things could be like your own definition of things. And it doesn't mean the same to other people. It's really interesting.
Yeah, but, I just thought of another one, but I'm not going to share it because it's not a good idea for my well-being to share it. But it's, there's another term that upsets. Yeah, I'm just very much about words because I don't know. I'm like Kim Rutherford, my comfort object. That's how I express myself. I've always, with writing and stuff, I used to write letters even when I was little. I'd write a letter to my mom being like, I hate you. Love, Hillary.
Yeah, I used to do that too. Oh, you could ask oh my God. I would always write letters to my mom, to my friends, to everybody about how I felt. And they'd be like, first of all, what the heck is 2 pages? What over this one thing? Like I was so sensitive. I'm tearing it apart and all kinds of things it means and what's going on. Mm-hmm. And then also, like I would even record messages because I didn't want to feel all the crazy energy. I couldn't handle talking face to face to them about these feelings, and I would record these messages. My best friend teased me about it one time too. I record this message to my mom and I put a note, hit play, and then she heard it and she was like just imitating me, you really hurt me sometimes, and cried. And I was so mad at her for that. It hurt me so deeply that she made she thought it was funny. Oh, you hurt me really bad sometimes. And she thought it was funny that she was teasing me. And oh my God, that I didn't talk to her for a while.
Laughing at somebody else's feelings is not okay ever.
No.
When it invalidates how you're feeling when you already feel invalidated yourself. So
it's so true. Even if you think the feelings are stupid or the way they express them, you should never do that at all. And that happened a lot to me when I was younger, and it would really hurt. And when I look back now and the whole context of it all, it was kind of funny the way she was teasing me about it, but that's because, my anger about it's gone now, but it's taken a long time. I mean, but yeah. So.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting with that you were talking about how you used to write letters and do all that stuff too, because I didn't have access to my voice growing up. It just didn't. And so I would always feel more comfortable expressing myself through writing. Plus, it's even now we have so much emotion and so many things going on inside. So to try to like filter through all the like important ones that you need to get
Yeah.
across.
Yeah.
It's like you need that time to write it all down and edit it if you want. A lot of times I don't need to edit it, but it's easier to filter it through the writing, and then yeah, it's just that's interesting. I never thought of that as being a potential empath thing, but yeah,
I
it's
think
much
it
easier
is.
to get everything down. Well, after
It
hearing what you said now, I think it is,
Yeah.
but I didn't think that before.
It saves you from the energy. If you get it all out on paper, it's almost like you get some of that energy out ahead of time. And it also, the interaction of, like I could feel something about, this is a big thing. This really is a big thing. Or is it not such a big thing? But if I just start talking about it and I'm feeling this, this means so much to me. It's going to affect the message so much because of all my emotions and feelings coming.
It's really hard to do it in the moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I think a lot of the things that I've written about have been about my experiences, and for a long time I did think there was something really wrong with me, that these things happened or that happened or I did that and poor me. Ugh. But it was just making my life way more miserable feeling like that. So the thing is too, like I feel like people with these extra feelings, like empaths, are here for a reason again, and in this time and in this place, like I do believe that there's this force, and that we're like spiritual beings in a human body right now, and that we're here in 2020 for a reason, and that we can feel the energy of the world too. So we have to be able to not like like put this big blanket of whatever around us, and try to stifle what we feel, because it's too much. You can't do that as an empath. I feel like if you write to let it out, to organize those feelings and let it out, or counsel people to let it out, or do music, do art, do whatever it is to let that out, is like part of what we need to do, is share how we feel a bit with the world, that opens them up to be aware of it, and then feel comfortable sharing how they feel.
Yeah, to show that they're not alone in what they've been
Oh yeah.
experiencing. And I thought that I was,
Mm-hmm.
probably for most of my life, because I was the freak. I was the different one. I don't feel like I fit in with my family, even if they disagree. Like it's a very lonely way to live, and I didn't, until I identified officially for myself as an empath, I thought stuff that I experienced was just me. And then I joined some pages on Facebook, and I was like, wait, that I experienced that, and I experienced that. Like, oh, okay, this is a community. Like I am not alone. So that's another reason why I wrote the novel too, because I was like, maybe somebody can latch on to that, or it's not really a children's book, but
Yeah.
at least have a role model that they could look up to, and
Mm-hmm.
hopefully when I make it into a TV show or movie, then they'll have that visual as well. So
Oh, that would, yes, definitely be awesome. Definitely. Because I always thought, I am so different. There's something wrong with me. I have to be like other people to be liked, to be happy. It caused a lot of anxiety in puberty. I think it really can hit you hard. But I was not. I was picked on. I was not. Um, I had very few friends. And then in puberty, I had that trichomania. I forget the name. I should know, but it's a long name. It's a pulling your hair out. It's a form of anxiety. And I used to pull my hair out like crazy. And it was this short on the top. It was like kind of like a toupee worth of hair, like right up here, that was this short. I didn't have bangs or anything.
wow.
And boy, was I like picked on even more. There was a lot going on in my family life, and different things, that I was just a bundle of nerves, like open nerves of taking too much in, feeling too much pain, too much of everything. And I just started like pulling my hair out, like is a way to relax me or take my mind off of stuff. It was a
That's
weird
crazy. That
negative
actually makes
thing.
me think I'm learning a lot from you about myself. When I was younger, my mom and I, we like were mirrors for each other, which can be not a good thing. So I would have twice the amount of any specific emotion that a child should have. Um, I've
Me
never
too.
cut myself. I've never physically harmed myself in any way. I just had all this extra energy that I didn't know what to do with, and I didn't know how to handle, and I didn't know what. So I would scratch myself. So I'd like, I don't know what to do, and then I'd go like that to my arm, and then it would be gone. That would be the way that I released it.
That's right.
And
Yeah. The cutting thing is huge these days, and it's exactly that. You didn't go into the actual cutting part, but scratching it, that's why they do it. They feel all this emotion, all this angst, all this anxiety, and all these feelings, and overwhelmed with whatever's going on, and they cut. It's very well, think about it. Why is this so big these days? It's the energy. It's things that are happening in the world. The level of animosity and fear. Um,
Oh yes.
so much stuff going on, and young kids are going, what am I supposed to do with all this, and all the social media and all it's so much information, so much input. You can't keep up with it. It's like, it goes quicker than them, and they can't keep up with all the people they need to be in touch with or looking at and paying attention to. And oh god, that one person doesn't like me, and that one does, and this and that, and that, oh, this is happening, and my parents are upset about the election, and all that. Cut. Oh, I feel better. Just it's like it's a way to take away all of this inside, but it's like a self-harming thing. Same with the hair picking. Similar.
yeah,
Very similar.
no, that's why I thought about it. I was like, oh my god, that matches.
Yeah. It's like you're wanting to release all this, but it's like sucking you back in. It's like a vicious cycle, kind of.
Yeah, and like I literally felt like I needed some way to get it out, or I was gonna go crazy. Like I just, yeah, and it didn't happen all the time. It was just like in really probably mostly anger. So like if she was angry and then I was angry and then we were both angry together. So it was like her emotion, my emotion, and then our emotion together was just like, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's true. All this emotion, that's what people feel. All the layers of stress, of pressure, school, distance learning, friends, family, the world, social media. You want to go nuts. I know for me as a child, like I love to put on performances. I'd get up and sing and dance in front of my family and my friends. We put on little skits with shows. We do improv. I was just that I'd have to do these goofy performances and act like a nut and sing and things to let out a lot of that energy. So I think people have to find like their niche, art, drawing, writing, running, sports, some
acting.
sort. Yes, acting, the singing, the whatever, to channel a lot of that in a healthy way. There's just, everybody has their own special loves, skills, qualities, strengths that they need to find. I feel like that kids are not always in the education world or in the world in general, or young people even like guided to look for that. It's pressure about all these other things. So
well, yeah, and it doesn't help being, I mean, it's really bad all around, because if you're a man, you're not allowed to have emotion, and then if you're a woman, you're allowed to have emotion because you're a sensitive creature, but you can't be too sensitive. So it's just like really frustrating, because it's like, okay, well, at least we're allowed to have emotions,